you want to scale and grow your consulting business, then you're going to need systems. At the early stages of just getting going with your consulting business, focusing or trying to build systems is actually going to work against you. So if you're just getting started in your consulting business, don't worry about this video, because this video is for those of you who are already seeing success inside of your consulting business and you're looking for ways to grow and scale. If that's you, then what I'm going to talk about in terms of implementing systems inside of your business can make a significant positive difference for you. Systems are what allow you to scale. Systems are what allow you to train people, to hire people, to build out a team. Systems are what allow you to go from moderate profitability to very positive profitability. Systems are what make your business valuable. Systems are what allow your business to run without you. As you can see, there's a lot of benefits of getting systems inside of your consulting business. So let's first talk about what is a business system. One definition is that it is a defined set of principles, practices, and procedures that are applied to specific activities to achieve a specific result. So think about that for a moment, right? It's really about getting principles, practices, procedures, right, or processes that help you achieve a specific result. And this is why I said at the beginning of this video that if you're just getting started in your consulting business, spending time on trying to build systems would be a waste of time because you don't yet know what works, right? You want to make sure that once you've validated, once you know what works, right, you have a process that works, then systems will help you to make a lot more efficient, a lot more effective, a lot more profitable, and all the other benefits that I mentioned. So let's talk through some of the business systems that you're going to want to get in place and the order that you're going to want to work on these, implement on them. So the first system that most consultants will find that they should be working on and get into their business is your marketing system. Why is that? It's because marketing is the lifeblood of your business, right? It's what brings in high value leads and opportunities for you. More leads gives you more conversations, which gives you more clients, which gives you more revenue, and your business grows. It becomes more valuable. So without leads, without conversations, your business doesn't exist. You can be very good at what you do, but if you're not having conversations, if you're not bringing the right people into your world consistently with your marketing activities, then you likely won't have a business. And so this is why most people should be focusing and starting on building systems out for their marketing, because once you have something that starts to work for you, you want to make sure that you can not only continue it, but get other people's help to run that marketing kind of process or engine for you. But also, because it is such a critical part of your business, you want to make sure that it's not done haphazardly. You want to make sure that you have a way to deliver those consistent results. And that's what a system helps you to do, right? It allows you to achieve specific results consistently. So referrals, right? We should talk about referrals for a moment, because some people will say, yeah, most of my business as a consultant comes from referrals. How do I build a system around that? Well, here's the thing. Most people, when they talk about referrals, and even those that generate the majority of their business from referrals, they are doing it very reactively. They don't actually have a system or process. So if we talk about referrals for a moment, there are ways to build systems for referrals. It might be the words that you use when you ask for a referral. It might be when you ask for a referral, at what stage of project, right? How far in should you be? Who do you ask? What do you ask for, right? What do you say? What happens when somebody doesn't respond? What does the follow-up look like? Organizing that and setting that up, that is a system. And once it's documented, then you don't have to be the one that has to run that system all the time, right? Whether you have a virtual assistant, right, a VA, or you have part-time team members, full-time team members, whether you have a small team or a big team, right? Systems are what allow things inside of your business to run, again, more efficiently, effectively, and therefore profitably. Now, if we talk about marketing, you might start to look at the thing that is working best for you today. So let's just take the example of maybe you are using LinkedIn, right? Or maybe you're speaking at events. Let's just take that one. So you're speaking at events, and every time you speak at events, you generate more leads and more business. And we actually have many clients in our Clarity Coaching program that are in this exact situation. They speak at events, and every time they do, they generate more leads and more opportunities. And I remember one of our clients is actually a partnership between two amazing founders or co-founders, and they were trying a lot of different types of marketing. And we just dove deeper into that conversation of, well, what's working best for you? If you actually look at where you're getting results, what is creating those results? And they said, well, yes, speaking, getting in front of these different associations and groups and so forth. So what's your approach to doing that? We don't really have an approach. It just kind of comes and, when it comes. So the guidance there, right, what we work through with them and help them to do is to actually build a system that captured every part of what they did to achieve the results that they wanted through speaking. Now that they had a system, that means they could just focus on running that system. And the benefit of having a system is because the system is consistent, right? It is stable. You get more consistent and stable results. If you think about that for a moment, right, it should make a lot of sense. If right now you're not following systems, then your results are likely not going to be consistent. But if you follow a system, you follow a process, a procedure, the outcome, the result of that will, in most cases, be very similar to the time that you ran that same process before. That is why organizations run processes. So if you want to think about steps you can take here, what you should do is document the steps that you take from having a conversation with your ideal clients and work backwards and figure out what are all the steps that have to happen in between to create the result that you want, which is more conversations with your ideal clients. Remember, we're talking about marketing. So the channel, the tactic, all of that, right, will be different for you compared to somebody else, depending on what's already working for you or what you've seen, what you believe has the greatest potential. Again, if this is something that you want help with, reach out, click on the link below this video, get in touch, and we'll help you to build a marketing, not only a marketing strategy, but also a system for your marketing so that you can scale and have more consistent results. But you want to look at this. You want to figure out what are all the steps that need to happen to create a conversation. And that might be that you need to, again, using our speaking example, it might be that you need to create a list of target conferences, events, or groups, associations that you want to speak at. Next step, maybe it's getting the information of the decision maker there that can actually say yes to having you show up and speak. Then sending out the emails and the follow-ups and right, so on and so forth. That whole process needs to be documented, and not just high level. You want to have the details so that you don't have to be the one to execute or implement on it. Somebody else can help you with it, whether they run the whole thing for you or part of it. That's ultimately what allows businesses to scale. You build more systems, and as you have more systems, you don't have to be the one to run all of them. So that's the marketing system. So document it, then it can be repeated. It can be improved and it can be refined. And as you think about building your team, this is, again, the power of having a system, is it's much easier to train people when you have systems as opposed to you just customizing and making things up, as you go along. So the second system that we need to talk about, and this is the one that consultants usually need to put into their businesses next, is a project management system. And this can be very simple or it can be more complex. The simple version is you just document each step of your delivery, each step of your typical engagement, and you have, what are the things that we do at each step of the way. And the benefit of that is it helps you to track your progress along projects. It helps you to stay more organized. It helps you train other team members on what needs to be done at any specific kind of time through the life cycle of a project. The more advanced version is take that base, and that might start off, being in a spreadsheet. Then it's likely going to move into some kind of project management software, something maybe like an Asana or a ClickUp. There's lots of project management systems out there, whatever you choose, but would go from then just tracking and identifying each of the stages of a given project to measuring the performance at each step. You look at things like utilization, capacity, profitability, and so resource or allocation of team members and so on and so forth. So that's the more advanced version, and that's when you start to look at each individual part of the project and figuring out what is working and what isn't working, right? The efficiency or the inefficiencies, where you start to remove waste, right? So that it increases the profitability. The key thing as we talk about project management is that you want to have an efficient and effective way to deliver your expertise and to deliver results for your clients. If you're not using any kind of project management system, if you don't have a clear kind of map or roadmap or kind of journey that you take your clients through as it relates to you delivering your services and expertise, then almost certainly there is going to be a lot of inefficiency and waste. And what that means is that opportunity for you to create greater efficiency, greater effectiveness, better results for your clients in a more streamlined way that is also better for you, because it's going to be easier to train people to help you with different aspects. So you get to extract yourself out of what is not working best. I should say what is not your highest value area of work, so that other people can come in and take that over for you. So you now have time to work on things where you create higher value, like winning deals or having conversations, creating thought leadership or intellectual property, right? Content and so forth. The most important thing as it relates to project management is if you are not tracking the steps that you are going through with your clients, then almost certainly there will be a lot of waste. There will be things that you are doing that you don't need to be doing. There will be things that you're spending too much time on or too little time on. What that leads to is waste. What that leads to then is you likely not delivering the optimal results for your clients, but it also means that your profitability likely suffering. And we'll flip that for a moment, right? The opposite of that, the positive side of this is when you have a project management system in place, you will be more intentional. You will be more focused on doing the right things. You will be able to identify what is not working and eliminate waste. You'll be able to, again, deliver greater results for your clients more consistently, on time, on budget, and with improved profitability for you. So the third system that a consulting business will then work on is their sales system. And this is generally going from you as the founder doing all the sales to shifting reliance on sales away from you. If you are the one bringing in all the sales, then your business is very reliant on you. Your business is really not going to be very valuable to a potential acquirer or buyer in the future, even whether or not you're deciding that you want to do that. It's also not healthy for the business, because the moment that you're not available to work inside the business because you want to take a holiday, you get sick, something else happens, it means that the business is just stuck. It's not going to generate revenue. So shifting reliance away from the founder is incredibly important, but you can't do it from day one because you need to make sure the other systems are already in place. Add to that usually founders are going to be the best salespeople. Just just simply because you have the expertise, you have the knowledge, firsthand experience, all of these things, you're more passionate about it. So when the time is right, when you have some of these other initial systems in place, then you want to look at, okay, now is it the right time to shift reliance on sales away from me? And it doesn't mean that you have to stop doing sales completely, because if you enjoy doing it or you're the best at it, it doesn't mean, again, you need to remove yourself 100% from it right away. But you might start shifting from doing 100% of the sales and revenue generation to maybe you go to 75%, and then you go to 60%, and then 50%. Ultimately, you want to get to a place where the business can bring in revenue and generate sales without 100% reliance on you. So what do? Well, you start off by documenting the best practices. You document what you're doing that is working. You document what you avoid doing, or what somebody should not do, what you try that doesn't work, or things that you shouldn't say. You want to create prompts for how do you start conversations. You want to document and have scripts of what does your typical sales conversation look like? What questions do you ask? What do you bring up when? What does the structure of that look like? How do you handle objections? What are the most common objections? What are the things that typically confuse people or move them off of the path that you want them to be on so that you can get them back on that path? This is all really important. And right now it's likely just between your two ears. So you need to document this and build a sales kind of playbook or handbook around it so that you can then start to get other people to help you. Now remember, this is not about getting somebody to take over 100% of the sales. They're going to transition this, and it might be one small part. Maybe somebody will help you first with initial meetings or doing an initial interview. Maybe it's doing sales follow-up. Maybe it is joining you as part of conversations, and they then start to take and get more involved in doing presentations or having some of those conversations so that you're not the only one doing them, right? Over time, you're going to shift more and more of this responsibility to other people so that it doesn't rely 100% on you. So you want to really think about how to improve your sales approach. Take what is working for you, document it, because as you document it, you're likely going to find that there's things that you could be doing better. There's things maybe that you're not doing enough, that you need to be doing more. There's maybe things that you are doing that aren't really creating any impact or result, and so you can remove them. This is the magic of creating systems, is that when you take just something that is in your head and often kind of customized, and you put it down on paper and actually look at it, you almost always start to see things that can be improved, things that can be fixed, things that can be removed that are not really adding any result at all, therefore improving the effectiveness, efficiency, and profitability of your business. This also should include things like, how do you use your CRM? And if you're not using a CRM, that would also be a system to get into place, as we're talking about systems, because you want to be able to track all of your interactions, conversations with buyers. You want to have notes on that so that, let's say you need to go away for some reason, there's maybe a family issue and you have to step away, somebody else can step in and take that call for you, or they can send the follow-up if you're not able to, or they're able to pitch in because the notes, the data, all of that is there. This would also include follow-ups, right? How do you follow up? When do you follow up? What's the cadence for that? Most businesses right now are sitting on a lot of opportunities to generate more business, but they simply are not generating more business because they're not following up enough. That's part of building a sales system. Now, the final system that we'll talk about in this video here today is your financial and operations kind of management systems. So this is things like your bookkeeping, your invoicing, forecasting, metrics and KPIs inside of the business in all different departments. So key performance indicators, meaning what is a target that you're actually working towards, and tracking, are you making progress? Are you achieving that target? If you are, great, right? What's working best and how can you do more? But if you're not, then what do you need to change to get back on track? This might also include things like time tracking, resource allocation, reviewing utilization, profitability, capacity. All of this comes into kind of financial and operations management systems. And each one of these should have its own SOP, a standard operating procedure. Essentially, think like a checklist of, right, a series that where you document all the steps that you take in each of these areas. Now, why do you do this? Well, you do it because, number one, when you document, you start to find opportunities to make improvements. That makes your business more valuable, makes your business more efficient and more effective, and again, more profitable in almost all cases. The next thing is that by documenting it, you're now able to build around it. You're shifting reliance away from just you or the other team member that is doing it, and others can step in. It makes it easier to hire and train people because they know exactly what to follow, right? It's more efficient and effective for you because you don't have to be the one to tell that person that you brought on what to do, right? The documentation is there for them to follow. And then if you choose to, or you're considering selling your business in the future, even if it's just you want to have the optionality or the possibility to sell in the future, having everything documented, systems and processes, this is what buyers look for. If you don't have any of this in place, it means that the moment that they take over your business, as an example, and you're not there, everything starts to fall apart because you're kind of the linchpin holding everything together. Systems are what create that stable ground, right? Systems are what allow for consistent results because you follow a consistent process. Now, we've helped many of our clients to get these systems in place. I know there's many more systems. We just talked about 4 of them here today, but if you work through and get these in, you should start to see some significant opportunities and improvements to strengthen your business to make it more valuable. But if you want help with any of these or talk about your specific situation and what systems make the most sense for you to grow and scale your consulting business, just click on the link below this video or reach out to us at consultingsuccess.com.